Streaming, so this is being recorded now for folks. Okay, we are working on our C major scale today, is what we are starting with today. And once we do that, we will jump into some country music also. Little Dolly Parton today. Okay, so let's go ahead and work on this. So we're working on our tablature. Remember, just for folks who've jumped on, that with the tablature, the way that it works is anytime you see anything written on a line, it tells you are going to pluck that string, right? So if you look at this starting over here, we have 2 notes on the C string, then we have 3 plucks on the E string, then we have 6 on the A string, we have 3 more on the E string and 2 more on the C string to wrap it up. This is our C major scale. So the numbers then just let us know what fret to put down on that string. So if you see a 0, it means you're plucking it open, meaning you're not putting any fret down. And if you see a number, you're putting a finger on that fret. As a general rule, you can use whatever finger you want to play that fret with. For something like this, I would usually use my 2nd finger for the 2nd fret, my 1st finger for the 1st fret, my 3rd finger for the 3rd fret, and so on and so forth. But that won't always be the case. So what we want it to sound like, and what we're hoping folks can sound like for next week, is something like this. So one way to do it is to follow along on the tab up there, but the other way to do it is to memorize that you've got open, then 2, then open 1, 3, then open 2, 3. Open 2, open 1, 3, open 2, 3. However you want to do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and play this through a few times. I invite you to play it with me if you can. 2, 3, 4. E string, open, 1, 3. A string, open, 2, 3. Again, 3, 2. Open, E string, 3, 1. Open, C string, 2. Open, again, starting with the C string. Here we go. Open, 2. E string, open, 1. 3, A string, open, 2, 3, 3, 2, open, E string, 3, 1, open, C, 2, open again, open, 2, E string, open, 1, 3, A string, open, 2, 3, 3, 2, open, E string, 3, 1, open, C string, 2, open, last time, open, 2, E string, open, 1, 3, A string, open, 2, 3, 3, 2, open, E string, 3, 1, open, C string, 2, open. Okay, how did that feel? Let's see a show of thumbs. Okay, good. So this is one just to drill in over and over and over and over again, and it really will come in handy once your fingers know it. So then when you're playing a song in, the key of C,
Daniel, is this being recorded?
This is being recorded.
Splendid.
Okay, any other thoughts before we go on this, on tablature, on the scale? Okay, so then let's do some Dolly. Let me move myself out of the way. Let's do that. Okay. Is there anyone who does not know this song, Jolene? Ray, is that a shaking your head you don't know it?
Can we hear it?
Yeah, I'm hoping this will ring some bells for people. I'll play through it real quick for us. It was a big Dolly Parton hit. Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. Jolene, 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 please don't take him just because you can. Your beauty was beyond compare, with flaming locks of auburn hair, ivory skin and eyes of emerald green. Your smile is like a breath of spring, your voice is soft like summer rain, and I just cannot compete with you, Jolene. Okay, did this sound somewhat familiar to some of us? Even if we don't know it, it's a fun song. It's a Dolly Parton song, evidently about the bank teller that her husband was making eyes at. Is the origin of Jolene. I've heard her talk about it. Okay, so let's go ahead and just try to play this together. It's a pretty straightforward song, actually, with chords that we know. And so a few things to think about for this song, since it is straightforward. One of the things is you can play around with the D minor and the F. Go ahead and play a D minor for yourself, right? And then lift up your ring finger, and it's an F, right? So the only thing that changes between them is that ring finger. So you can do something where, like, so try that, where you're lifting up and putting it down. Okay, so that's one of the things you can do. We've got our F, nothing real fancy there. We've got our C. Now you'll notice on each of these lines we have the option of a C7 or a B flat. That's because a C7 is a C chord with a B flat note added to it. So you can either play a B flat chord or a C7 chord. Whichever you're feeling. I have a sense that maybe we're going to choose the C7 there instead of the B flat, but maybe that's just me. Actually, I think the C7 sounds better anyhow. And other than that, this is one that's all about creating rhythm and variance with your right hand. So it's how you're bouncing, how you're doing that sort of stuff. Okay, so let's go ahead and let me make me go away, and let's go ahead and try to play this. So this is using that kind of bounce approach that we've used a few times, right? Bounce down, up, down, up, bounce down, up, down, up, bounce down, up, down, up, bounce down, up, down. So just as a reminder, what the bounce is it's like a down where my finger's really only hitting the first two strings or so, not all four. Just sort of bounces off of those top strings. Bounce down, up, down, up, bounce down, up, down, up, bounce down, up, down. Okay. Here we go. Now Jolene, Joe F, Joe C, Joe D minor. I'm seeing of you, C7, take my D minor. Second line, here we go. Jolene, Joe F, Joe C, Joe D minor. A C, don't take him, C7, cause you're D minor. Okay, let's do those two lines again. Sorry. There we go. I'm just rolling up my sleeve. Okay, here we go. How's this feeling? Is that feeling okay, folks? Yeah? Okay. Bounce down, up, down, up, bounce down, up, down. Remember, if you're having trouble finding the rhythm, just go to downs and ups. Down, up, 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 down, down, bounce down, up, down, up, bounce down, up, down, up, bounce down, up, down, up, bounce down. Here we go now. Jolene, Joe F, Joe C, Joe D minor. I'm seeing a UC7, take my D minor. Second line, D minor, F, Joe C, Joe D minor. Here comes C, C don't take him, C7 because you D minor. Okay, next few lines, here we go. Your D minor is BF, compare with C, locks of D minor hair, with C skin and C7 of emerald D minor. Your D minor is like an F of spring, your C is like a D minor rain, and C cannot C7 with you, D minor. Okay, to the top, here we go, the chorus. Jolene, Joe F, Joe C, Joe D minor. I'm seeing of UC7, take my D minor. D minor and F and C go to D minor. C don't take them, C7 because you D minor. Okay, let's go on, here we go. Here we go. Your D minor is BF, compare with C, locks, D minor hair, and C skin, C7 of emerald D minor. Your D minor is like an F of spring, your C is soft like D minor rain, and C cannot come C7 with you, D minor. Last time, Jolene, Joe F, Joe S, C, Joe D minor. I'm seeing of you C7, take my D minor. D minor, Joe F, Joe C, Joe D minor. C, don't take him C7 because you D minor. Okay, how did that feel? Ish, but had fun with it is totally an acceptable. Yeah, it's kind of a rocker, that one. It really it keeps going. I like it. Yeah, I like Grandma Judy. We were getting some dancing and some bouncing there. That was good. Okay, let's go on. Let's play some more. As long as we are working on our strumming and our pop music, let's go back to learning to fly. To work on this. We haven't done this in a few weeks, but another one to work on our strum. Okay, so just as a reminder, we have now worked on a few different ways of making a strum interesting. One of the ways that we have to make a strum interesting is that, right, we always have that hand going up and down at the right speed, but we don't play some of them. We only play some of them, and the other ones we don't touch, right? That's how we get down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, right? Is our wrist is moving at a constant speed, but okay, so that's one of the ways. Sorry, am I real jerky for you all also? I'm real jerky for me. I don't know what that's about. Just give it one moment.
You're delayed.
Yeah, there's something not happy there. My OBS looks fine, which means it's somewhere else. Okay, what about now? Maybe a little better. Only a little better. I don't know what's going on. My computer's not happy. That's something. Let me just look at my task manager quickly, and then I'll give up and we'll keep going. Okay, whatever it was appears to have resolved itself. So we're going to take it. Okay. Oh, well, it had resolved itself, and there it goes again. Sorry, everyone. Oh, okay. We'll take it. Seems a little better now. Okay. So we've got that way of doing this, right? Where we are strumming, and the way that we make it more interesting is we switch some. We skip some, right? Down, down, up, down, up, down. Okay. We then have a version of that where we're bouncing. That's one we've been working on, right? Where we bounce off the top strings. Another way to make it more interesting, right? Then last week or 2 weeks ago, we started working on a way where you kind of press down or don't press down, you mute with your left hand, right? And that's how we get. Right, where the difference is when I'm pressing or not pressing with this left hand. So that's another method that we have gotten. So this song, Learning to Fly, is a different one, and it's going to play with a different part of our brains, and is a different kind of skill, because it is using just a standard down, up, down, up, down, up strum, right? But it's not switching at 4 counts, which is when we normally expect things to switch in music. When things are in a 4 beat, we expect them to switch at 4. Instead, it's doing 3, then 5, then 3, then 5, right? So we're doing, if you think of a down is one and an up as another one, right? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So that's how we are making this interesting here, which is just a different way of doing it. So we've really just got these three or these 4 chords over and over again in a pattern: F, C, A minor, and G. So let's go ahead and we'll take this slowly to start because it's been a bit since we have played this, and we'll go ahead and try this. So we've got F, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor, 2, 3, G, 2, 3, 4, 5, F, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor, 2, 3, G, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now that you've gotten into the groove, I'm going to stop you. So one thing to notice is that the C and the G are going to start with an up, not with a down, which is going to be a different feel for us too. We're really used to the down being the beginning of everything, right? So the F and the A minor start with a down, and the C and the G start with an up. So it's here we go now. F, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor, 2, 3, G, 2, 3, 4, 5, F, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor, 2, G, 2, 3, 4, 5 again. F, C, A minor, G, F, C, A minor, G. How does that feel? Are we able to do that? Okay. Sort of. We're gonna speed it up then. We'll keep going faster until we leave everyone behind. Okay. F, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor, 2, 3, G, F, C, A minor, G, F, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor, 2, 3, G, 2, 3, 4, 5, F, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor, 2, 3, G, F, C, A minor, G, F, C, A minor, G, F, C, A minor, G. How did that feel? Okay? Let's keep getting faster. F, 2, 3, C, minor, G, F, C, A 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 minor, G. Okay, now, how did that feel? Ish. Okay, I don't know if what I'm about to say is going to make it more or less complicated, so I'm apologizing in advance for this. You will notice that this 3-5-3-5 strum that we have been doing turns into a very slow down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, down. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't need to count it that way when you're doing it. I'm just trying to show you that they're the same thing. Right? So if it's easier, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, The real key is to remember to switch chords on that up, down. Okay, how did that feel? Ish. Was the down, down, up helpful or not helpful? Not helpful.
Well, how do you play that song, Daniel? Do you play it down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up?
When I play it, let me see. I don't. The answer is I don't have I don't have an intellectual answer to any of these. I have to just play it and see. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up. You know, they're all there for you to switch back and forth, and that particularly for a song like this, which is the same chord progression over and over and over again. What makes it interesting has to be the ways that you change your playing as you do it, and not sticking with the same exact strum, but messing around with it and adding in your suspensions and your seventh chords and your all those little tools and tricks and things we've learned.
When you do down, down, up, down, up, you're doing 2 down, not 3 down. Before you switch to another key and go up.
Yeah, but but there's an up that's so right. Here, let me do it. Let me do this graphically. We have where are you? Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. These are our beats. We've got our and, which is our half beat. Can you see this? I'll probably make it a little bigger. Okay, there are beats across the top. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, right? So we can do our strum as down, up, all the way across. Right? Does this make sense? When we do down, down, up, up, down, up, we're just skipping some of those. Does that make sense? So, in one way of counting, we've got 4 beats, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, but we also could just count them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, when we've got 3 and then 5, we're doing either down, up, down for those 3 or down, skip, down. So, in fact, we are doing a 3 count there. It's just that we're not playing one of those. Does that make sense, or did I just do this more confusing? I'm seeing nods. I'm not sure which of those two things it might mean, but we'll go with it. Okay. So that's how we do it, and that's how it ends up working out. Let's go ahead, and we've got time for one more. Let's play some blues. If we've only got a little time, let's play some blues. Okay. Here we go. I've got our G7. This is blues in the key of G. We've got our C7. We've got our D7. You can choose from your 2 different shapes of D7s. Actually, listening to these strings reminds me, Amy, your strings are in. So whenever I see you next, we'll change them. Maybe Tuesday when I come over. Okay, here we go. 2, 3, 4, G7. Now C7. Back to G7. C7. Back to G7. D7. C7. G7. D7, turn it around from top. G7. C7. G7. C7. G7. D7. C7. G7. Turn it around and do D7 last time. C7. G7. C7. G7. C7. G7. D7. C7. G7. Turn it around to D7. And end on a G7.
Hey Daniel, before we end today, after we do some blues, could you record yourself doing the fly song, like with the singing?
Oh, yeah.
Because it would be fun for us to hear it with the words.
Totally. We can do that. We'll end with that right now. Okay, so
Daniel,
yeah.
this could be because I joined this group so late, but I have no clue how you read the blues. So maybe sometime, if everyone else knows.
No. This is a great question, and I'm sure it's useful for us to go over it one more time. Okay, so we have all of these various charts going on across here, all of these confusing charts for us. Okay, the blues, 12-bar blues, is always this same pattern that we have over here. 1-4-1-1, 4-4-1-1, 5-4-1-5. There's 3 lines over here.
Yeah, but what's 1-4-1-1 mean?
Don't worry about it. We'll do that. I'll explain that in a second. But you see these 3 lines: 1-4-1-1, 4-4-1-1, 5-4-1-5. Okay. When we learned the blues, the goal was, first of all, to learn the blues, but also to help us understand keys and switching between keys and how the same thing can be played in multiple different keys, etc. So that's what all these charts are for. So the blues is always made up of just the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord, played in this order over here. So in the key of A, your 1 chord is going to be the A, your 4 chord is going to be the B, C, your D, and your 5 chord is going to be the E, right? Does that make sense? So above is just a little cheat sheet for us of what the 1, the 4, and the 5 are in any given key. Over here is 12-bar blues for any given key, and up in the corner are the 3 chords that we are playing right now. Was that helpful? Yeah, I can totally see how this is not an intuitive screen unless you've been playing with this the whole time. Yep. Great question. Okay, let's do learning to fly. As a recording here. So it goes like this. Let me turn on original sound for you. Here you go. Well, I started out down a dirty road. Started out all alone, and the sun went down as I crossed the hill, and the town lit up as the world got still. I'm learning to fly, but I ain't got wings. Learning to fly, coming down is the hardest thing. But the good old days may not return, and the rocks might melt, and the sea may burn. I'm learning to fly, but I ain't got wings. Learning to fly, coming down. Learning to fly is the hardest thing. And so remember, the other piece to this, and one of the reasons we initially went into this chord progression, is that this song will end on a C. It will not end on an F. This song is in the key of C, even though it starts with an F. Right? Almost every song that we have played up to this point starts and usually ends with the chord that the key is in. So if it's a song in the key of C, right, from Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Lishalom, we want to end and start with a C. Right? Really anything we do, country roads, take me home, right? Anything, almost any of those songs are going to start and end in the chord that gives it the name, the C or the G or the whatever it is, the 1 chord. This song does not. This song is instead the 4 chord, then the 1 chord, then the 6 chord, then the 5 chord. So it's it's just a different kind of feel, which is part of what allows a single chord progression, just these 4 chords over and over and over again, not to get stale, is that the chords themselves are not in the order that our brain always wants them to be in.
Danny, I started out 3 strums of F, down a dirty road, 5 strums of C.
You get the entire chord progression before each comma. Well, I F C down a dirty road. I started out out all alone. So it's,
all five are in that. Well, I started out as all five, and Down a Dirty Road is all five.
it's more than 5. Right? Well, I started out gets your entire chord progression. You get your F, your C, your A minor, G. Down a Dirty Road gets F, C, A minor, G. Started out in the second line is F, C, A minor, G. All Alone is again F, C, A minor, G. So each time you get the full progression before a comma, and a comma starts it back over again in the words. Yeah, Amy.
So usually, I'm looking at the susses. Usually when we do susses, we kind of start with the real chord and then like kind of flip in and out of the sus. But in this case, there's such a short amount of time on each chord. There's not a lot of time to go to the sus. Start with like the C.
So here's
the sus, and then go out of the sus.
So here's what I would do in a song like this, and I think it is what I do. Is go ahead and play your F chord for a second.
Okay.
And now go ahead, take your pinky and put it down like you're playing a C chord with your pinky, but leave your F up.
Okay.
And I would just let that pinky ride for much of it. Leave it on the F, and then lift up your 2 fingers to get to the C. And then leave it down and play your A minor. And then you go to a G, and then I would do. So it ends up being something like this. I'm just going to mute you so it comes through a little better. Like this. And you can even not always keep it on there and just like. And you almost take that C note and turn it into a drone where it's always following you around wherever you go.
I think we kind of become accustomed to your calling out the chord as we're playing it.
Maybe I can record a podcast of just me calling out chords. You can put in your ear and yeah. Okay, good. Really nice to be with everyone. If you're not doing any